Hello, hey, what we'll work on today is just a nice little introductory series of warm-ups designed to help enliven the spine, awaken the energy that rests at the base of our spine, known as the Kundalini energy. And these specific exercises are really nice to do first thing in the morning. I usually do them before I start any sort of physical yoga practice or meditation practice. And you can do them as long as you like or as short as you like, but I recommend spending about a minute in each component part of this series, and allowing yourself some time to kind of sit and integrate, because these come from the tradition of Kundalini yoga, which is the yoga of awareness. And we're really following sequences of postures and exercises and breathing sequences that will help to create a greater awareness of our subtle body experience, the energies moving within our physical being and surrounding our physical being in the electromagnetic field, which some would call our aura. And I really like just kind of sinking into this, and it's a great way to just feel the breath and fill yourself with a great sense of stillness and peace. So what I usually begin with are what we call kind of just big wide hip circles. So always breathing in and out through the nose. We're inhaling forward and exhaling back, keeping our sit bones rooted as we're nice strong breathing. So by constricting the back of the throat, you kind of create a nice audible sound. This is your ujjayi breath. And so we'll keep the eyes closed throughout this part, and our internal gaze is right here in the third eye center. And we'll inhale, come back to center, and then switch directions. And notice how keeping my chin up, shoulders parallel, and chest broad here. So making sure not to rock back and forth like this, but really rooting the sit bones down and creating length in the spine as much as you can. So how I'm sitting is in a position called half lotus, with my shin kind of crossing over each other, and could have my foot up here. But you may also, if this is uncomfortable for you, you could try just kind of sitting with your ankles crossed, either just flat on the floor or with a pillow or like a block. This is a typical yoga prop. But for those first ones, I really like to kind of have my butt down on the ground. And so after that, we'll come into what we are rocking the pelvis forward and back. So really isolating that movement here just in the pelvis by tipping the hip points forward and back, trying to keep the shoulders steady as possible, engaging the low abdomen, and again inhaling forward, exhaling back. And then after about a minute of this, we'll let that energy kind of travel up the spine like a wave into the thoracic region, and inhaling forward, exhaling, rounding the back, pressing the chest forward on the inhale and really rounding on the exhale. Again, closing the eyes. It's kind of funny, huh? So anyway, I'll let you do a minute of that. And I suggest really kind of once you get the sequence down is leaving the video behind, but just really letting yourself fall into the breath as much as you can. So after the spinal flexes, we'll do a spinal twist, which is nice, really nice way to kind of uplift yourself a bit here. So bring the thumbs behind, four fingers in front on the shoulders, and we'll keep the elbows parallel to the ground. So again, it's inhale to the left and then exhale to the right, kind of moving at your own pace and maybe gradually picking up the speed a bit. This is one of my favorites, a great way to really kind of experience the effect of the energy that's traveling up, coiling up your spine. So there's three primary pathways that the life force, prana, as it's referred to in yogic texts, travels throughout your body. So there's this main one, it's called the Sushumna Nadi, and then there's the Ida and the Pingala. So they kind of interweave, and where they connect, or where they intersect, I should say, is the energy centers that are known as the chakras. So really we're working on kind of just moving the energy through those chakras, spiraling up. There's some great visuals out there if you just search nadis, which are those energy pathways, Nadis, or chakras, and you'll see kind of a nice map there and maybe some further explanation as to what each of those energy centers represents and the qualities and the different shadows, the ways that it shows up in our lives, both in the positive and negative form. And so there are specific Kundalini kriyas, as are set sequences out there, that can help us to work with specific chakras and to perhaps open up some areas in our life where we may need some healing, may need some rejuvenation. So then after the spinal twist, again, a nice just kind of sitting, integrating, really great spot here to just maybe sort of slip into your meditation if you like. So those are just some very simple spinal exercises to get us to a place of stillness, to awaken the Kundalini energy, which rests dormant at the base of our spine. It's depicted often as a serpent that's kind of drunk on the experiences of the world, and through our pranayama, our breathing, and asana, meditation, and mantra, we are starting to awaken and enliven that serpent so that it can travel up and charge us with positive energy, allowing us to live to our fullest potential. So there's a lot going on here. I'd say those are really great places to just start. Just that simple sequence. It's really nice and allows you to kind of tune in with the breath. So once you do begin your state of meditation, just start with, maybe 5 minutes, moving on, adding more time from there if you like, allowing your eyes to just roll towards the back of your skull, head lightly resting over your heart over the hips. And just breathing, allowing the breath to travel inward, down into the low belly, filling up all the way to the low lungs, side body, all the way up to the top, the thoracic cavity, to the collarbones, and exhaling, releasing it down in the reverse order. And using your breath as the anchor. Really, meditation is not something that we do. It's the concentration that we're actually doing. Those are the words of my teacher. And so we're practicing really how to concentrate, how to bring the mind to focus on one thing. And that can be either your breath, it can be a mantra or a cosmic vibrational sound or positive affirmation. Simple mantra that a lot of teachers recommend beginning with is just so hum, which roughly translates as I am that. I am essentially all that is surrounding me. I'm one with all. And so inhaling so, exhaling hum. You can just synchronize that with the breath for a nice kind of anchor to bring the mind back to. And so much of what we call meditation is just constantly retraining, reprogramming the mind to come back to one thing, not allowing it to be pulled off in 1,000 different directions. If after those exercises you feel like you want to do something a little bit more invigorating before meditating, you can experiment with breath of fire, which is a form of pranayama. Pranayama is just the kind of branch of yoga that refers to breath work that helps prepare us to be able to concentrate, to be able to meditate, essentially. And this particular one, breath of fire, is equal inhale, equal exhale, but the exhale is forceful, and the inhale is passive. So it's a sorry, there was a little pop-up on my phone there. So with this breathing technique, I recommend starting out like practicing if you were panting like a dog, like so we're pumping the navel in and out, so it's a and I like to teach that you can bring your hand to rest just below your belly button if you kind of have trouble with the coordination. So and just kind of feeling that experience of the belly pressing out, the low belly. And then once you get that rhythm down, you'll find your own rhythm. You'll close the mouth and just breathe in and out through the nose. So it's a and then in Kundalini, what we do is a practice called Ego Eradicator. It's a very common component of many of my teachers' sequences. And so Ego Eradicator, we are actually not trying to eradicate the ego, but expand it to encompass, again, all that is. So expanding our sense of self to not just this mind or this body, but to all of life that is, so that we can feel more connected. So the mudra, the hand position for this one, is fingers kind of bent in towards the palms and your thumbs sticking out, and our arms will, I don't know if you can see it, there you are, but about 60 degrees up and out, and you're going to hold your arms here, lifting again through the spine, rooting down through your sit bones, eyes closed, and we'll do breath of fire like this for 3 minutes is what I typically do in the morning. Sometimes there's a great one where you can do it 31 minutes, breath of fire with 3 different mudras, so it would be, well, we'll do that another time, but 3 minutes here at and about at least halfway through or so, you'll feel your arms start to fall down. It's actually quite hard, so you just want to really try to maintain discipline and integrity of the pose. And so keeping your arms here, and then at the end of the 3 minutes, you'll inhale, bring the thumbs together to meet. You can't see that, but this is what they're doing up there. So you're trying to find them together with your eyes closed. Sometimes you'll miss and you have to figure it out. But at the top of your inhale, you hold the breath like this. And then exhale, release. Bring your hands down to rest in what's called Gyan Mudra, thumb and forefinger looping, our index finger known as our Jupiter finger. And so this particular mudra is great for inciting the qualities of wisdom and knowledge and receptivity. So sitting here again after Ego Eradicator, and maybe just finding your place of concentration, your practice of concentration from this, after this experience. Again, you may be feeling kind of a glowing effect surrounding your head, surrounding the outer few inches of our body. They do say that our aura does extend about 9 feet in diameter surrounding our body. So there's some wonderful Kundalini exercises out there for strengthening the aura and forming a shield of protection, and also of positive projection surrounding us. So that's just a little intro for Kundalini warm-ups that I like to do before meditation or before a physical practice. It can be done really any time of day. I do suggest doing them in that order and trying to take the time to kind of sit and integrate and notice the effects after each little part there. There are some more that involve just kind of like as a part of that typical Kundalini warm-ups. If you were to Google Kundalini warm-ups, you might come up with some PDFs or sequences that have a little bit more going on to that, but I've just kind of extracted some of my favorite parts that are really effective ways to slip into that state of feeling good, right? That's what it's all about. So thank you for watching, and hopefully you retain this information after 1 or 2 watches so you don't have to listen to me over and over again. But thank you so much, and enjoy your practice.